All right. Test. Test. YouTube. Come on. All right, we're working. Welcome to another wind down stream. Now that our Texas event is chalked, we have a few severe thunderstorm warnings. We're going to wait here for the stream to transfer over from Max's channel to mine, and then we're going to go ahead and look at everything that we have going on today. Just need a few seconds for everything to transfer over. How's it going, Batman? How's it going, Lucidity? Welcome in, Crafter. It's Picasso. I know. Quite the artist over here. Should we make it a drawing? Let's recreate greatness while we wait for the streams to transfer. Oh God. Look at this. All right. Change the SPC outlook. You're right. Max, send me the new SPC outlook in Dibble. Alright, welcome in everyone. We are going to go ahead and the SPC outlook above my head will update in a second, by the way. We're going to go ahead and look at everything we got going on, take a look at our SPC outlooks for the next few days, and then we will start diving down into all of our storms individually. So we do still have our tornado watch for parts of Texas over here, mostly in western Texas. This does include Lubbock. It includes Clovis, which is in New Mexico. Canyon, Amarillo, you guys are still under this tornado watch. This expires in 54 minutes. We'll probably stick around till this tornado watch expires at a minimum. We also have no tornado threat over here. However, we have a line of storms moving off to the east of Atlanta right now. Actually just entered the Atlanta metro. And we also have a very small baby 2% up here that was issued in the last SPC outlook. However, our tornado threat that was here is basically done. So we can basically forget about this 2% tornado risk here. Updating. Browse. Gotta recrop this. Which is surprising, being that we've basically been in the same spot every day, but... we don't need any random lines like we did yesterday, making themselves visible. Alright. And we're good. 10 gifted, and I already knew who it was. Didn't even have to look at it. Interrogation files, welcome back, and thank you for gifting 10 memberships in the first 5 minutes of the stream for the last 5 streams in a row. That's absolutely wild. Thank you so much for the support. Gonna go ahead and throw it over to single site radar here. Bro, we need W's in the chat for interrogation files. Every single time he's here. Every single day. You know what? We're gonna put the radar in motion just so we can watch this storm dance around Lubbock over and over again. Literally, the RFD of this storm booted this other cell out of here and off to the north. So funny to watch. Anti-magnet we got going on here. Will you be keeping an eye on Wisconsin this summer? Of course. I'm in Wisconsin, so I always have an eye in Wisconsin. We do still have a few remnant supercells up here near Amarillo and Clovis, moving in every which way, every which direction, every sort of motion going on up here. Most of these aren't producing, or I guess these both aren't producing tornadoes, probably won't produce tornadoes. Basically, the thing that we're waiting for with these storms is for them to die so we can issue a more accurate outlook tomorrow. Obviously, we only have a marginal risk for basically the same area tomorrow. However, with setups like these, basically we're interested in the outflow boundaries of the previous day's convection. So we're going to have to wait to see which way all of these weird lines set up from the outflow of these storms to issue a more accurate outlook tomorrow. That's why we saw such a late upgrade to our SPC outlook today. Do you have enough eyes for Texas? You never have enough eyes for Texas. because it's huge. It's massive, if you will. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, by the way, Hollybox. Oh, my chat's on the wrong mode. It's chalked. Can you explain why it wasn't moving at all? Yeah, so obviously they've kind of been like latched onto the outflow boundaries all day. There's not really any upper atmosphere or mid-atmosphere forcing to push these storms along. So once we saw this outflow boundary that it was latched onto sort of dissipate, this storm just became stationary. However, there is still plenty of warm, moist air for this storm to pull in. So it's kind of just been sitting over the exact same spot over and over again, taking advantage of all of that moisture and all that energy and just dumping hail and rain. Glenn Graves, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Do you think we get a day 3 moderate? Yes. That's a hot take, I know. But Monday looks like it has a very big chance to have a very high ceiling, and I would support a day 3 moderate in parts of Minnesota and Iowa. Lucidity, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Welcome to the channel members. I don't even know. This isn't like Max over here. We don't have names for everything. We just started this. We need to come up with names for the members. Right now it's just based off tornado risk, so welcome to the tornadoes. All the flooding is worrisome. Yeah, I guess the only good thing is that because it's so localized, we're not going to see any of the impacts from flooding down in downtown Lubbock, but still definitely concerning. This pub burger is fire. I literally looked at that the other day and I didn't get it. I forget it. Fried onions are pretty gas. Your armrest just broke and snapped. Sounds like my headset. Held together by tape right now, by the way. Right over here. I also have a black mark and a dent on this side from when I was in my dorm. And the shelf above my dorm collapsed and I got hit in the head with a mallet. But luckily it hit my headset. David Peoples, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Now it's all messed up. I moved it out of the perfect spot. Sam C, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. Welcome in, Marie. There, I think we fixed it. Don't really know. How many Picasso shirts did you end up selling? I don't know. Max would have to check. Probably like 1 million, because it's so high in demand and everyone needs it. Headset is totaled. Yeah, the headset's chalked. It's over for the headset. Liam Wolf, thank you so much for subscribing. Headphones say lives. Hey, I literally when it happened originally, it broke my headset. I was like, dang, that kind of sucks. I was like, guess it's better my headset than my head, I guess. Oh my God, Lucidity. Wow. Lucidity, thank you so much for dropping 5 gifted memberships. Dane, Michelle, Kay, Sam, Almighty, and JSP. Make sure to thank Lucidity and W's in chat for Lucidity. Look at these hail reports. What? This one's from 7:07 and this one's from 8:20. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock hail reports. How far apart are these? This storm has moved 2.41 miles in the last hour and a half. Wow. All hail broke loose? I don't know if I'd say it broke loose. More of like remained stationary. Drunk storm? Actually just like not moving storm. Sleepy storm, if you will. Where'd you get the tornado warning and severe warning overlay at? I made it myself with Python. Has this big old giant script that's running in the background 24/7 that controls everything you see on screen. W. Riley says Amber. Thank you, Amber. Amber's right there, by the way. What radar do you and Max use? Max uses mostly Radar Omega, and I use a combination of Radar Omega and GR2. What you're looking at right now is Radar Omega, and then this is GR2. But GR2 is very terrible presentation-wise, so I tend not to show that. Who's Amber? Max, Amber's your best friend. We know this. Art lesson, please. It's all from the heart. You just gotta start drawing and let it go. My cat's having kitties. My cat's sleeping on the couch. If he wakes up, I'll grab him. I don't want to wake him up, though. Do you think Southern Oklahoma could see an enhanced upgrade for Monday? It's plausible, but probably not likely. Can you do a 3D of this storm? We can. Gotta pull over the other radar tower, or the other radar site. It is going to look a little weird just because we're so close to the radar, so it probably won't have the right presentation. Yeah, you can see how it's kind of like tiered like that. That's because we're so close to the radar tower that as it goes up in tilt, it sort of messes with it. So that's why you see this giant bowl here. We go ahead and make this look more normal. Funny enough, you can't really see that much hail compared to what you normally would, just because it's all small hail because it's so stationary. The updraft isn't strong enough to make large hail. It's just a bunch of small hail. But yeah, that's the 3D view of our storm that we've been looking at almost all day. Ohio could see an upgrade on Tuesday. I think on Tuesday we'll see a widespread enhanced risk. Just waiting to see on the corridor of highest severe potential to issue that. Why did we just trim our warning? I feel like they need to like warn this like this at this point, but what do I know? How long will you be live for? Probably until the tornado watch expires. So at least another 58 minutes. Even though I swear it said 58 minutes like 58 minutes ago. Yeah, I don't know why it says 58 minutes. It expires at 10 p.m. Central. Are you and Max still in college? Max graduated. I have another year in college still before I get my degree. What's Georgia looking like? We have a little line of thunderstorms going through here, mostly sub-severe. There's one severe warning up here going into South Carolina right now, but this will move off to the east slowly over the night. Nothing too significant over there. Crazy Coffee, Stevens Point actually doesn't have meteorology classes. Killzaz, I'm not getting my master's degree in meteorology. I'm getting my bachelor's in water resources, so basically everything after water falls out of the sky, I know how to do. Max and I have all sorts of water knowledge covered. Look at our velocities here quickly, because we haven't done that in a while. This, I'd be more than likely willing to bet, is some sort of contamination and not actually proper rotation. Don't think, yeah, it's not tornado possible. And basically nothing in terms of rotation going on here. Oop. My radar Omega's all laggy. Am I good to sleep in Alaska? More than less likely. PDS lag warning? Yeah, that was strange. Interesting, if you will. I have the same headphones. Mine stopped working. Mine still work. They work just fine. That's why I'm reluctant to replace them, because they're working. It's just the plastic that holds the ear portion onto your ear snapped. So how's Canyon looking? You guys are probably good. There's a storm off to your east. However, it's not really moving towards you. It's moving more off towards the southeast, going this general direction. It'll probably end up going near Plainview, but with the way that the storms are setting up today, it could kind of end up anywhere. Either way, it's probably not going to produce a tornado. Some probably medium-sized hail and gusty winds, but nothing too significant with that. What's the difference between the NWS and SPC? So the SPC does a lot more of the broad outlooks, and the NWS is more location-based. So there's one SPC, there's one weather prediction center, but there's like 140, I think, something forecast office for the NWS across the world, or not across the world, across the country. Use a separate app to draw on your screen. If I have Radar Omega open, no. If I have GR2 open, yes. Storm Chaser Everett, Iowa is looking concerning on Monday. Basically, anywhere in Iowa, you're going to be under either an enhanced or moderate risk, probably for tornadoes come Monday. Song by Jimmy Buffett, by the way. W song. Oh, my cat woke up. I have accumulated Le Cat. He definitely just woke up. He's really warm and he's cranky. Upgrade to GR level 3. GR level 3 is actually worse than GR level 2. Ohio, you can go to sleep. Lucidity, thank you so much for the 1 gifted membership, 6 on the day, and yourself, so 7 total. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, Happy Texas is probably okay tonight. You want to go on my desk or you want to go on the floor? Or my lap? Which one? Oh, he wants to go to the bathroom. Oh, wow, he wants to go to you. Chip, that's not very nice. Wow. He only wants to go on you because that's my blanket. No, not Sweet Kitty. Mean Kitty. Kitty ran away from me. Clovis, New Mexico, you can go to sleep. Storms just made their way through you. Crazy Coffee, Amber's my girlfriend. She's the one who just brought me the cat. Now the cat's on her like a mean kitty. Traitor. I mean, it's her cat, but still traitor. Yeah, Crafter, I might just 3D print a bracket to, like, hold my headphones back together, but we'll see. Amarillo, you guys are safe. I would assume that this convection is going to go off to your south. Hey, oh my god, I had no idea you had your own channel. Honestly, up until like the last week, we've barely used this channel at all, so that's probably why, but we're going to try and utilize it a lot more over the next coming days. Outlook for Tilted, as always. Good if it's not before second zone. It's going to be more congested this time because people are going to have to rotate dead side. How's Lubbock? Lubbock is being protected by the mother of all supercells that's sitting stationary over here south of Anton and west of Shallow Water. What's your epic? I honestly don't even know at this point. I haven't logged in a while. Elite, there could be a moderate in southwest Wisconsin. How do you get that radar scan animation in Radar Omega? So it's called live scan. It's one of the add-ons, so I think, yeah, you have to go to this website, I believe, and then you pay for it on that website. Caleb, this is not Sri Lanka, unfortunately. We need a Sri Lanka t-shirt just for Caleb. No, shallow water, you can go to sleep. This storm has actually moved north of where it was earlier. It's done basically this. And this portion of this storm alone took 3 hours. So shallow water, you are good to go to sleep. What's causing these storms to stall? There's no forcing in the mid or upper levels of the atmosphere to basically push these storms along. So because they're not getting pushed, as soon as they drop the boundaries that they're attached to, it's chalked. Storm's just gonna sit there and exist. But this storm will throw its own giant outflow boundary all around it, and then tomorrow that outflow boundary is going to be the start of our convection for tomorrow and our eventual tornado risk. Your description still has radar scope. You might want to change that. Yeah, I need to redo my description. James, thank you so much for the $5 super chat towards the headset fund. I think we're up to like, I haven't totaled out how many donations we've had in this headset fund, but this isn't an expensive headset as far as headsets go. I think it's like a $70 headset, but I don't even know if they sell it anymore because I got it in like 2020. Timberwolves are up 26-32. I see that. I have the score up over on my other monitor. Timberwolves in 5. Down goes Luka. Still fired Nico Harrison. How you feeling about the pack now? It depends. How's Jordan Love feeling? Is he going to throw the ball? Is he going to drop the ball? Is he going to run the ball and then drop the ball? Jordan Love has really high potential. Just needs to lock in a little harder. I like him though. Are you from Wisconsin? No, I'm actually from Minnesota, but I'm in Wisconsin for college. Here we got an update from Lord Max Velocity that we're going to go ahead and take a look at. He is also agreeing with what we said earlier, that there is Epic Games, no, Epic Pen, that there is there's a chance of seeing a moderate risk of severe weather tomorrow in Iowa. If I had to draw what I think the moderate risk would look like if they issue it tomorrow, hold on, let me click on this image. I would assume it would probably be oriented in this area here. And unfortunately, not only did I just circle my house in Minnesota, I also circled the college that my brother goes to, so RIP me. Judy Knight, thank you so much for coming. 2% channel member. Chief Meteorologist Max Velocity, that's his new nickname. I'm never gonna let that one drop. We're gonna go with that forever and ever. Jace Harris, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Don't spend it all in one place. It's going right to the headset fund. A wholesome mess. It's just too early to talk about a high risk. You can't really talk about a high risk anything outside of day 2. And they will never issue a day 3 high risk unless there's massive changes to the way the SPC works. It's never going to happen as of now. Did the radar freeze? No, the radar's updating. Please tell Max to start pronouncing the South town names right. Max doesn't even pronounce my town name right in Minnesota. So. I feel your pain, guys. I feel your pain. The one that always gets me is this. Karaoke. Minimum Velocity, thank you so much for the $5 super chat towards the headset fund. Yeah, you're very right. Minimum Velocity and then some. Pacifica, thank you so much for the $10 super chat towards the headset fund. The headset will most likely be purchased. I don't know. We'll see. I have to see if I can find it anywhere, like I said. I really don't want another headset. That's the issue. I love this one. Karaoke is so goofy. Yeah, and I have a Grand Cherokee. That's the kind of car I have. And he knows I have a Grand Cherokee. But it's okay. I do the same thing. Like, there's a lot of times that I'll, like, look at town names, and I'll just, like, pick the easier looking one next to it. Caleb, did you see that the Twins won 11-4 today? I get triggered by his Tupelo being Tupalo. It's Tupelo, right? I'm not saying that wrong. I'm not also wrong. Welcome in, Clint. Tupelo? Yeah, it's basically what I said. I'm known to pronounce stuff right because I'm from Minnesota. We pronounce stuff right or wrong almost every time we say something. But this storm about to hit Littlefield looks pretty bad. It will more than less likely be very insignificant. This is the degenerating phase of a supercell, so it's basically broken apart into just tiny little cumulus clouds, probably not even producing hail anymore at this point. Definitely not producing severe winds at this point, and this storm is literally falling out of the sky. Southern Oklahoma, you guys are good. Zero tornado risk in southern Oklahoma besides like these 4 counties here, but even that is just a 2%. Can Lubbock sleep? Yeah, Lubbock can go to sleep. We're basically good to sleep anywhere in the US at this point. In fact, we've allowed our severe thunderstorm warning here to expire. Our severe thunderstorm warning here has expired. All the ones that we had in New Mexico have also been allowed to expire. And yeah, I think we still have one over in Georgia. Let's fly over to that quickly. Yep, we actually have 2 in Georgia now. One here south of Atlanta. This is probably an observed 60 mile per hour. Yep, it's an observed 60 mile per hour wind threat. And this is also a 60 mile per hour wind threat and quarter-sized hail. This is still, like, if anything was going to be overly significant, it'd be this in Texas, which is why we were just kind of locked in on this. Yep, Northeast Ohio, go to sleep. You've gained 400 followers this stream. Yeah, we're up to 14,862 subscribers. 140 subscribers away from the big 15K. I think that means if we hit 15K today, that means I think we've doubled our channel size in the last week, which would be absolutely diabolical. It's possible. It's definitely a lot of subscribers for one night, but it's possible. There was a warning in Kentucky earlier today. You need 100K for the thing that YouTube sends you? Yeah. I actually have one of Ryan Hall's gold play buttons, funny enough, in my room at home. I stole it. I snatched it. But now I need to get my own silver play button, and then I need to steal Max's gold play button. And then I can have all the play buttons, and I can throw them all into a tornado. Sanger, you can go to sleep. Lovely Lear is in northeastern Kentucky, up here near Portsmouth, Ironton, and Ashland. It was just west of where our 2% risk is here. No longer 2% risk there, by the way. The storms have made their way out of the area. Gotta do a supercell art on it. Watch this. We're gonna speed run a supercell. Oh god, no. We're gonna restart. We're gonna forget that ever happened and restart. That's pretty good if I say so myself. Someone stop the clock. Where's our speedrun timer? Max, you just got called out big time. That was like a 0.1 second response time. That's an absolute GG's right there. Good night to Inglewood, Ohio. Thank you so much for tuning in, Marvin. Max, how's the cheeseburger? Have you done Monday and Tuesday risks? Yeah, we talked about them briefly. I'll pull them up here again in a second. Actually, I can just flip them on right here. This is our massive risk. This is our slight risk on Monday, and this is our enhanced risk on Monday. Day 3 outlook, I would imagine that we're going to see a moderate risk right here. But we'll have to see later. We want more Dribble merch. Do we need shop Mr.Dibble? What? Shopdibble.net. Amber, that's your new job. Come up with a better name for a merch store. I'm not creative. Amber Dentalman. Great idea. Riley, doesn't Max work for you? That's what they don't want you to know, is that Max is actually my employee. How's it going, Petus? Amber doesn't talk much. No, Max, you just talk a lot comparatively. How's it going, Wolf? You got Culver's? I know, I'm jealous. I want Culver's. I got Domino's Pizza. Because it's 50% off, by the way. It's the only reason I got it. Petus says you are not allowed to call me Petus. Why? That's your name, isn't it? Dibble and Bits? Now that's a name. Oh, you think that's funny over there? Wow. Pete is. Am I wrong here? Like, bro, what's going on? I think I'm on lock. I don't know if I don't know how to read or what, but... Is there a chance any of these cells in West Kentucky go severe? Probably not. Pet as in, like, pet the cat. This doesn't make sense. I must just not know how to read. You're gonna get in trouble? I'm not gonna get in trouble. Am I in trouble? She didn't say no. I can't believe you took Chip from me. That's so mean. Yeah, Petus, no spamming. Is that a sunglasses emoji? We need a clear glasses emoji. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning up here. Wow. A new severe thunderstorm warning up here for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This will expire in 1 hour and 6 minutes. That is a considerable. Wait, where did we just get a considerable? I think radar Omega is just tripping. Actually, nope, that's also not a considerable. GR2's lying to me. Chip and Dale? No, Chip and Oreo Max. Petus is a storm chasing legend, I know. He sees all the tornadoes. Get some motion on these bad boys so we can just watch this storm sit here over and over again. Remember guys, basically whenever we see all of this convection stall out and start throwing weirdo outflow boundaries, that's when we're going to know what our severe weather setup is going to look like for tomorrow. I almost just read Nightbot's message out loud. I was like, yo, Nightbot, thank you so much for that message. I made Nightbot send that message. I put the timer on, but... You saw Petus turn a whole hurricane around? Yeah, I probably saw him. Good night, Everett. No straw with your DoorDash again? Good thing you got sent 150 straws or whatever it was in the fan mail. Use your colored bendy straws, Max. Do we have max kick velocities yet? Unfortunately, we do not. Chasing Saturn. I'm still waiting for permission to make max kick velocities. You guys are going to have to talk to him. Hey, Mo. No way Nightbot deleted his message. That is mad funny. Yeah, Petus, listen to Nightbot. Stop spamming symbols. You cannot make that up. W Nightbot in the chat. Nightboss timed him out? You're kidding. I can't even remove that timeout. That's the funniest part. Oh, Petus, I guess. W Nightbot. And I'm getting pinged on Discord. I wonder who's pinging me. Bro, Petus, I know you're still watching. Nobody has the ability to untime you out. Guys, we are 50 subscribers away from 15,000. You didn't find a 6.5 STP sounding for Monday? We love cherry picking soundings. Aw, he's free. And he sent that in all caps. Please tell me Nightbot deletes that. Lee County, you're good tomorrow. Think you need shoes with tacos, trampolines, and your drawings? Max, I'm telling you, there's a market out there. We could be millionaires. We just gotta start selling Max kick velocities. How's he back? I think Max removed his timeout. Next time it sticks. Next time it's going nowhere. Saturn, there's a slight risk in Indianapolis on Tuesday. However, that will most likely be upgraded to an enhanced risk at some point in time. It might not be, but somewhere on Tuesday will most likely be upgraded to an enhanced risk. By the way, guys, we still have 7 severe thunderstorm warnings. A few over here, and then some over here. Oh, wow, we got another Bowling Green. There's tornado possible. All right. I mean, I guess. Petus, imagine if Bowling Green gets a tornado while Luke is not there, because he's in Texas today chasing. That'd kind of be hilarious, I'm not even going to lie. But Bowling Green, Kentucky, be on the lookout for a potential tornado. Actually, they could issue a tornado warning for this, I'm not even going to lie. It's going good, Pup Marshall. Newest velocity scan, and there's still broad rotation. Actually, looks like we might have a weak BWER, which basically signals a strong updraft. That's a bounded weak echo region. and or donut hole that we're seeing here. Be an interesting storm to monitor over the next few minutes. Oh. Is Chip ready for another debut? What were you drinking? Water. Put this storm in motion. Yeah, it's really actually like trying its hardest to wrap up here. That's insane. Saturn, I don't think we can do that. If he won't let me make max kick velocity, I don't think I'm going to be able to add that to shot max velocity. My life goal is to use bounded weak echo region in a sentence. Well, here's your chance. You gotta use bounded weak echo region, quasi-linear convective system, and tornado genesis in the same day. That's your new life goal. Oh, I can't have him? Why not? Not fair. We need Max to get a girlfriend. And we need there to be no more tornadoes, but... Oh, are we gonna get floating cat? Yeah, I want it. Just put him on my lap. Oh my god, why is he trying to run away? He doesn't want to listen to me talk. He just wants to lay on the blanket. That's not very nice. Cat cam? Bro, the cat's already gone. He's running. How do you find VROT, add inbounds and outbounds, and divide it by 2? Mr. Sauce, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. The great outbreak of April 28th and 29th, 2025? Most likely not, but unfortunately, a slight possibility. Take a look at our storms in Georgia. Our warning off here on the Georgia to South Carolina border has been allowed to expire. Still have one warning down here. I would imagine that the severe winds are almost through this, just because, yeah, it's been in effect for a while. Then, of course, our storms that we have going on down here in Texas that are chalked. Need a max velocity dating app? So you're telling me we're going to talk about making a dating app, but I'm not allowed to make max kick velocities? That's kind of sad. I think we need to add max kick velocities before a dating app, but I mean, I guess it's up to you. Check correlation in Kentucky. Looks like we have 0 CC drop and still very broad rotation on our storm here in Kentucky. We need a Petus and Cherokee shirt. I'm actually working on a t-shirt to make fun of all the town names that Max has mispronounced. So you guys best be ready to buy that one. That's one of the plans. Along with cheese curds or cheese curd merch, graduation merch, and Max mispronouncing town names merch. You subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. We're 8 subscribers away from the big 15,000 now. Here, actually, I can drag this over. Just put it like in the corner. Oh, can't click like that. Put it right there. Tupelo merch needed, but with the way that Max pronounces it. What about Mr.Dibble merch? Sooner rather than later. Max is dragging it, just like Ninja is dragging the low taper fade meme. 3, 1. We're gonna skip 2. There we go. Oh. And it's in the wrong spot. We couldn't even see the 15 portion. There it is, 15,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for 15,000 subscribers on the Mr.Dibble YouTube channel. That's insane. Literally, guys, I think we were at like 7,000 a week and a half ago. That's absolutely wild. Probably the fastest growing weather channel on YouTube, comparing the size of the channel to the quantity of subscribers, which is absolutely crazy to say. But factual. That's insane. T-shirts when 15,000 sub shirt dropping today. That's all you, Max. You got to design them. Cape Girardeau in Jefferson instead of Jefferson City. Perfect. Throw it on the t-shirt. Welcome in, Daniel. Thanks for subscribing. Our tornado watch should be allowed to expire in 9 minutes. Robert Ducky, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, can you report the weather with a basketball? Call it dribble with Dibble. My brother could, but I'm actually very bad at basketball, even though I'm tall. I have the genes, but not the skills. Caleb Dibble merch? Yeah, we gotta drop Caleb Dibble merch. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, by the way, Rubber Ducky. You didn't have to do that. My brother could do basketball. That could be dribble with Dibble. Yeah, there is very... Oh, come on. There is very broad rotation on the storm. Doesn't look that tight. However, we've seen storms do silly stuff today, and there's always a slight possibility that it could happen again. Our storm in Bowling Green looks like it has completely fallen apart. Just a little silly pop-up shower. Psyche thought in thunderstorm form, if you will. This is still crazy. A 4-inch hail report today. We've seen like 4 to 5-inch hail so many days in a row here in terms of Texas setups. They could like actually need to warn this storm here briefly. Let me bring GR2 back down there. That is not the right spot. We're going to watch the 4-panel here for a little bit while we see if this thing decides to produce a tornado. Does not seem like it did it in that scan. Max is around 5'9". Yeah, that's being slightly generous, but he's around there. Thanks so much for becoming a 10-hatch channel member, Rubber Ducky. Thank you so much for the support today. I thought Max was 5'2". Yeah, he's probably closer to that. He's in that range. It's funny that this storm's like kicking up a couplety looking, or not a couplety, a hooky thing looking over here, but in reality the main area of rotation's further over here. Hi. Are you meowing just to meow? Where are you? Yeah. My cat's meowing just to meow. Clarksville, you can go to sleep. Max, Amber's taller than you are, so if she's 4'6", that means you must be like 3'5". Yeah, Max has to sit on books at his setup. Source, trust me, bro. Chat devolving into anarchy. It's almost always anarchy here. Max velocity. Severe Weather Center says I'm 8'7". That sounds like someone who's 5'3" would say. Hums, I'll probably not be in Iowa on Monday. Not probably not. I won't be. I'll be here in studio. Don't quite have the chasing rig completely set up for the summer. Need to get a few more things. Summon the guy who can tell you you're hyped by a soda can. Well, see, that's the issue. Max can't even fit a soda can in his room because the door is so small. It just hits it. This storm does continue to show brief or broad rotation, by the way. It looked like it was actually going to try and produce there for a bit, but it really doesn't look like that anymore. Can we get Max as our short king on a t-shirt? You're going to come to my vacation just to show my height. I'm going to crash out. Do you need a step stool to get up so you can say hi? Max, this is a losing conversation for you. You're never going to win it. You're always going to be losing. I'm fired. Guess what? I'm hired. Welcome back. Is that rotation west of Hereford? Hereford where? There's a lot of Herefords. Clovis, New Mexico, you're good. Go to sleep. Rumbling getting louder, northwest Lubbock. Yeah, you're probably hearing this storm get a little taller. However, the storm's actually moving north right now. There's the chance that it could take like a really sharp right-hand turn, but it's probably not very likely. That chip. The kick velocities are going to have to be platforms. Exactly. Yeah, Hums, this is the exact same storm that's been sitting here for the last, like, 4 hours now. Please do a 24-hour stream. You can't even do that on YouTube. It doesn't save it. After 12 hours, it's just like, no. Oh, my tweet deck crashed. Well, our tornado watch is no longer in effect. However, we just had a new severe thunderstorm watch issued for multiple counties in Texas. A few tornadoes possible, scattered hail up to ping pong ball size, and scattered gusts to 70 miles per hour. This includes 600,000 people, 300 schools, 25 hospitals. This is in effect until 4 a.m. I'm honestly surprised that they issued a watch for this. I'm not even going to lie. I don't even think I saw a mesoscale discussion stating that they were going to issue a replacement watch. Tammy Black, thank you so much for the $5 Cash App. You didn't have to do that. Right to the headset fund. And we got a tornado warning. I guess we're going to fly to that real quick. That is our storm over here near Bootleg. And yeah, there's definitely a couplet on this. And Radar Omega's lagging again. This is not the time for radar program to lag. So we're going to have to throw it over to this, I guess. This tornado warning is in effect for half an hour. It expires at 10:30. Radar indicated there are 213 people in this tornado warning. WSV3 is the worst radar software I used, and they try and charge you like $10,000 to use it per month on a live stream. Nick, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. I need to turn some stuff off here. Alright, Radar Omega seems to be refreshing again. And literally, as soon as they issued that warning, this rotation is already like considerably weaker. We just saw our tornado watch get, or not tornado watch, our severe thunderstorm watch get populated. Not this again. We just saw our tornado watch get populated here. If they warned this, I would assume they're also going to warn this. This still looks a little better from the Amarillo radar site. Nick, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. It says, my bad, I'm late for the membership, but here you go, Mr.Dibble. Proud of you and Max for everything. Get yourself some nice headphones. That's the plan. We need the headphones to be replaced so they don't fall off my head. There's our new scan on reflectivity. We'll get our new velocity scan here any second now. This now actually has my eye more than this. This is quite the convergence signature we have going on here north of Bovina and west of Friona. So I would expect a warning for those shortly. These are the only, I guess these aren't, this is the only tornado we have active right now. Unfortunately, I don't know if you guys saw that there in the live beam update, but this is the location where our radar beam is like starting and stopping its scan. So the radar data from here is 1 minute older than the radar data from here, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on rotation-wise. We're going to need to wait for probably the next scan or something where the beam starts further over here. You should buy a chicken bake? Dude, I don't have a Costco here. It's quite unfortunate. Take a quick look at our storm near Lubbock. Yeah, not really any tornado potential here. Or down there. Funny enough, it looks like we have some anticyclonic looks like we have some anticyclonic rotation trying to wrap up here as well. We actually had an anticyclonic tornado yesterday. I know it was a hot topic on Twitter earlier, if it was a anticyclonic tornado or not. It was 100% without a doubt anticyclonic. Multiple radars support that. What's an anticyclonic tornado? So normally in the US, our tornadoes, actually anywhere in the northern hemisphere, our tornadoes spin counterclockwise. However, an anticyclonic tornado spins opposite of that, and it spins clockwise, and that's what we had yesterday. Looks like we're getting a new radar scan here, and the beam started in a different spot this time, so we'll get a better look at both of our couplets here. And the data just froze. W. Alright, so it looks like we do have a lot of side lobe contamination here. I don't think this couplet is as significant as what it looks like on radar. However, I do think we need to consider assuming that this storm down here to the south is also under a tornado warning. Andrew, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. You follow NBA? I do occasionally. Lag emergency? Are we lagging? Oh yeah, Radar Omega was lagging. This warning also continues to have broad rotation from the Amarillo radar site as well. So 2 different radar sites are showing that there is some sort of rotation with our tornado warned storm here. YouTube was lagged out for a bit, bruh. No way, YouTube's tossing. I don't think, yeah, there's not many people in this warning. However, if you are in this warning, go ahead and head to your safe spot. That could be a basement, it could be an interior room. Anything that is underground and or not near exterior walls, and especially glass. What storm are you looking at now? This is our tornado warned storm southeast of Amarillo. This storm also looks good from the Amarillo site, dude. lagging again. This storm also looks good from the Amarillo radar site, so I do think we should probably see a tornado warning for that shortly. Lubbock also shows rotation on these storms as well. So three different radar sites showing rotation on these storms. Abigail, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you for the kind words as well. These storms are almost stationary, just like our ones in Texas as well. Congrats on making the golf team, Reed. These are really our only two storms that have any rotation on them whatsoever at this point. This one does have rotation as well, however it is very broad. What's stationary mean? It means it's not moving. You can see that these storms have basically been over the same areas because we have these flash flood warnings in place for parts of New Mexico and Texas. Good night, Pup Marshall. Next radar scan is on the way in. And it's frozen. W. Reflectivity will velocity will probably be about 10 seconds behind our velocity scan. And yes, still definitely tight, if not tighter rotation here on our tornado warning storm, and some sort of rotation on this storm as well. Once again, mostly stationary. So if we did see an extension of this tornado warning be issued, it would probably be for, quite literally, the exact same space. Still 17 minutes on it. Carroll, Joplin, Missouri is chilling for the next 2 days in terms of storms. Basically, where we have our severe thunderstorm watch tomorrow, or right now, is the exact same area that we're concerned about tomorrow. You're the 900th like? No way we're at 900 likes. That's insane. We're at 902. Damn. Got your weather radio ready just in case? Perfect. I have a weather radio myself. Great thing to have. Can't rely on tornado sirens. Especially if the power goes out. Tornado siren won't work. Your weather radio will. And the Timberwolves are losing to the Lakers. GG's. Phone on 4%. Go plug it in. 951 already. Dang. 962, 967. The support is absolutely massive tonight. Thank you guys so much. There's not been any confirmed tornadoes since I've started stream myself. However, Max did stream quite a few of them earlier. Oh, wow. Our rotation actually jumped there for the first time in a while. Rotation over here is mostly dwindled. Over here it's a lot weaker as well. However, still a slight couplet there, so the tornado warning will probably be continued. We'll stick around till there's no tornado warnings for sure. Why did Max sign off? Max has to sleep? Everyone's got to sleep. Also, there wasn't much going on. There was no tornado warnings until like 10 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago. So I went live just in case there was another random warning. Other than this tornado warning, by the way, we have one severe thunderstorm warning here and one severe thunderstorm warning near Lubbock, and that's it. Those are the only warnings we have severe-wise in the country right now. You can look at Georgia. Yeah, we can throw it over to Georgia real quickly. We have the one line there, however, it's mostly sub-severe. Our severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect was for this area right here, and it looks like these storms have actually ceased to exist, fallen out of the sky. Still something going on up here, but this is mostly sub-severe. There's a special weather statement for the area, however. New severe thunderstorm warning. Spoke it into existence. It's also in Texas. That down here? Yep, that's down here near Van Horn. There's no radar tower in this area. Definitely a hailstorm going on here. Warned for ping pong balls and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Oh, what in the world? That's funny. This storm must have, like, very strong rotation in the upper levels. There's nothing at the lower levels, though. There's still some broad rotation on our severe thunderstorm warning here west and northwest of Lubbock. Tornado Iowa. Iowa looks concerning on Monday. Probably going to see either an enhanced or moderate risk come the next outlook. That was probably really loud. My apologies. Canyon, you're safe. Just no high risks. Unfortunately, I do think it is a possibility. The ceiling on Monday is very, very high. Sorry, guys, reading stuff on Twitter. Ray, Twitter is basically the only social media platform I have outside of YouTube. Not Twitter, X. Same difference. Northwest Ohio, I think you had a moderate risk Nah, I guess not Northwest Ohio, but Ohio was in a moderate risk like two years ago, I want to say. 2 summers ago. Chip is sitting by the fireplace. Is he licking it? Not yet. Looks like he's about to try. Rotation is once again weakened, and the storm has lost most of its impressive-looking structure on radar. The moderate was last year for Ohio. Have we ever seen Oreo? We have. Oreo doesn't normally spend a lot of time downstairs where I am, so that's why you don't see him as much. He's normally upstairs. Sanders went undrafted for 3 rounds. How's that even possible? It doesn't check out. Doesn't make sense. Logic isn't logicking. Still our only tornado warning, by the way, guys. My Hawks picked a QB. Max's Patriots picked a... Yeah, they picked a player. Can't even tell you who it was because he was so forgettable. Sounds like the Patriots. That one dude from LSU. The Dibble family likes the Vikings? No, no Vikings fans allowed. Go Pack, go. Yell City Mom, I'm located in Wisconsin. Yeah, we do have one tornado right now, or one tornado warning right now in Texas, west of Hereford. Karma Caleb is my younger brother. Probably a new radar update here soon. Literally, as I'm saying that, here comes the beam. I don't know why it was so long between updates that time. Should probably go ahead and put the radar in sales, but you know. Get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Muleshoe does not have any warnings. This is our only tornado warning we have going on right now. And the rotation looks even broader in that last scan. So I would imagine that we're going to allow this tornado warning to expire. Good night, K-Jack. This warning will expire in 7 minutes, by the way, at 10:30 p.m. Central. Do you work for Max Velocity? I do. I do remember the Valley View tornado, Kate. Go ahead and take a look at this storm near Lubbock. Doing all sorts of silly shenanigans. Did get a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, 64 mile per hour via a West Texas Mesonet station. That's probably why we had an update to this severe thunderstorm warning, just in correlation with that, and also a flash flood warning because, as you've probably heard me and a million of other people talking about, this storm is not moving. Also, 2.5-inch hail report off of our supercell over here south of Muleshoe and west of Sudan. Probably going to see a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm frequently. Actually, that is really old. That is from 3:13 p.m. Never mind. Don't know why I have reports that are that old. Yeah, Ninja, that's basically the storm we've been talking about all day. We basically had one, like, significant supercell today. It was that one. And yeah. Hey, we just put the radar in sales. Ask and you shall receive. We'll get more frequent radar updates now for this tornado warning in the last 5 minutes that it's in existence. No longer interested in this storm down here to the southeast or southwest, by the way. Only our tornado warned storm. This will probably be allowed to expire here in 5 minutes. I'd honestly be shocked if they reissue it. Give it about 5 seconds and the radar beam should swing through here. Here it comes, and honestly tightened up a little more. I do think it is a little contaminated just because of how much precip our radar beam has to go through in order to reach our velocity couplet. So if they take that into consideration, probably won't be tornado warned, but we will see. Can we see your baby pictures? I have no pictures of me as a baby. LeBron dunked so hard it glitched my TV. My glorious king is the only person who's allowed to score on the Timberwolves. That's a rule. Is a soft dunk? Dang. If LeBron did it, it's always a massive dunk. Huge. World changing. Three minutes until we figure out if we're going to get a continuation of this tornado warning or not. Make a tungsten cube membership tier, might have to. What is your IQ? At least 7, honestly, I have no idea. Can't say I've ever taken an IQ test. Yeah, we have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings and 1 tornado warning right now. And 8 flash flood warnings. One of those flash flood warnings is in Georgia. Other than that, all of our warnings are in either Texas or New Mexico. The upper levels of the storm actually look a lot weaker rotation-wise than they did when this warning was issued. Yeah, our meso doesn't go much above tilt 3, so this is GR2, obviously a slightly more complex program, but we're looking at this panel here. As I move up in tilt, which is looking further up in the storm, the meso is not as strong as it was. We can see it weakens out, and they just issued a new tornado warning for this storm. Nice. So they did issue a new tornado warning for this storm. That will be in effect for 31 minutes. Yeah. We talked about you basically for the last half hour, but if you just now tuned in and you're one of the, I think, 313 people in this warning, go ahead and take shelter now. I think this is probably the first time we've ever been live for 2 tornado warnings, although it's already 1 already, but yeah. Do we have anyone watching here from the area? Where are we watching from in Texas? Or anywhere? Where are we watching from right now? The big storm that could? The big storm that tried. Joplin, Ontario, Canada. Michigan, Lubbock, Irving, Friona, Ohio, Houston, Sioux City. New radar scan on that. It actually looks a little bit tighter. May even have... no, I don't think so. Des Moines, Indiana. Right in the middle of the lightning in Lubbock. Hey, as long as there's no hail, no tornadoes, that's kind of fun. That's kind of a good place to be. Fun and enjoyable. California? California is wild. This couple is just dancing back and forth. Jacob, North Carolina looks good. Not much going on there. Daisy, we do have a little bit of an area of rotation. It actually looks like it's strengthening in the last few scans here in Texas in this tornado warning, but nothing too concerning. My cat just take my pizza. I thought I still had pizza over here on the table and I heard something slide. I thought my cat just snatched my pizza. He's been known to do that. But yeah, we'll stick around here until this warning's allowed to expire. At least that'll be another half hour. This warning expires at 11 o'clock local time, 11 o'clock central. Taking a look at our other storms, we have one over here near Lubbock. Not a lot of rotation on it. There is some very broad inflow, but nothing too concerning. We have another severe thunderstorm warning over here southwest of Carlsbad that also actually, they might tornado warn this. Is this tornado possible? This warning's really hard, or this storm's really hard because we have 0 radar towers within like a respectable distance that will actually be able to pick up this storm. Like this one's literally blocked by mountains, so we can't see what's going on here. So we may see a precautionary tornado warning there. But yeah, that's all we have going on for severe thunderstorms right now. This is the most concerning and distressing storm we have right now. Aunt just baptized Luca. Love to hear it. I'm sure I'll see that on Twitter in about 3 seconds. I just got the Julius Randle update. I don't know how far behind I am. Oh, here's Oreo. Oreo does not want to be held right now, but this is Oreo. You can probably see how creatively we named him and where we came up with the name. Put him on the cat tree for now. Hereford, you guys are good. You're actually going to have some rain picking up there, but this tornado warning should stay off to your west. The couplet's actually sort of been dancing around. A little bit of a drunk NATO, as Max would call it. So I don't think it'll leave this warning polygon anytime soon. Hayden, you are fine in Alberta. The Wolves are up 80-75, by the way. Super important update there. What's Amarillo's radar site showing? Basically the same thing. Actually a little weaker rotation just because it's scanning up further in the storm. We talked about that a few minutes ago, that the rotation isn't actually supported that high. It's not a very deep and elevated meso, but still definitely some broad rotation. Welcome back, Best You Plays. How's it going? Amarillo, you guys will probably see some rain from these storms once they finally progress off to the northeast over the next few hours, but nothing too significant. They're basically stationary right now, so it's sort of hard to predict which way they're going to move. There's a decent chance they end up going south of you for the majority, or for the most part. How's it going, Megman? Welcome in. Hereford, you guys are not in this tornado warning. I think they just barely clipped the edge of your county, and that's why we've heard some reports of EAS alerts going off in Hereford, but you guys are not in the warning polygon. You guys are good in Hereford. Can you explain the phenomenon where all the stuff around the radar towers are green? If I can find what you're talking about. You're talking about this. This is just the radar picking up literally just like moisture in the air and it getting returned to the radar. Remember, the radar is effectively sending out a sound wave, even though it's a radio wave, but it's just sending that out, it's hitting something, and it's coming back, and it's listening for that. So even when there's not storms in the air, some amount of that signal is still returned to the radar, and it's just listening and hearing that. Rotation is starting to look much more broad now, by the way. Thank you for going live for sure. Got a continuation to this tornado warning, and this tornado warning has been upgraded. We have a confirmed tornado warning. This is a law enforcement. Okay, this is a law enforcement confirmed tornado. So I'm still skeptical on whether or not this is on the ground. We've seen sheriff tornadoes before. It's a real phenomenon, but go ahead and take shelter. It does look like there is still strong rotation on radar nonetheless. So we've been talking about you guys for like the last 45 minutes, and I feel like we've definitely hammered it home that, hey, there's a tornado warning in this area. But if you haven't done so yet, go ahead, take shelter, hopefully a basement. If you don't have a basement, the most interior room of your house. Get away from exterior walls, get away from windows. This is a confirmed tornado warning. No spotters out there? Yeah, it was confirmed by law enforcement. Any CC drop? No, I'm looking at the CC on two different radar towers, and I see nothing. No sirens in Hereford? Yeah, Hereford, you guys are not in the tornado warning. Our tornado warning is west of Hereford. You guys are outside of the warning. Safe in Hereford. This tornado warning will continue for another 20 minutes. What's law enforcement and weather thing? That basically means that someone reported via 911 that there's a tornado on the ground within this tornado warning. How's it going, Mr. Twister? Still rotation on this, however, it is more broad. No CC drop as of now, by the way. We're really just going to zone in on this because it's our only tornado warning, and it's our only observed tornado warning, especially. Other than this, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings and 1 considerable severe thunderstorm warning, but that's it. So it's important that we just watch this thing and see if it does anything. Yeah, Yellow City, no one who's chasing Lubbock was ever going to make it to this storm to see if it could potentially produce a tornado. We actually did just get a report of a funnel cloud via a storm chaser. Funnel persisted for about 30 seconds, less than 1 mile north of FM Road 1058. That was at 2:47 UTC. I think that was almost an hour ago, wasn't it? Interesting. I've still yet to see any report of a tornado on the ground directly from law enforcement. Have no specific location on that. Pronounced Hereford? My bad. Are they seeing funnels at night? Great question. This thing is incredibly rain wrapped and it's night, so questionable, but nonetheless take the warning seriously. Mr. Twister, we do not have moderator applications yet. A bunch of the stuff we need to get set up, but Max and I have both been busy with school. I still have 3 weeks of school, but we'll get to it eventually. So when I see a tornado, call 911. Yeah, you can call 911 to report a tornado on the ground. You can also report it directly to your National Weather Service. If you call 911, they're just going to effectively forward your message along to the NWS. New radar update coming through here. Velocity should update here any second now. Yeah, still just broad rotation. Wolves game is 78-85, by the way. Wolves are winning. Wolves in 5. Probably gonna get a flash flood warning for this area here pretty shortly. A lot of rain falling over the area. I mean, I feel like we've been looking at this exact storm here for literally hours. Let's see what the last, yeah. This is a 50 frame radar loop going all the way back to 8 p.m. and we can see it's basically been raining in this area for the last 3 hours. Lakers in 5. Will the Lakers cannot win in 5? I mean, they could, but hopefully it doesn't happen. Yeah, it's definitely broadened out, Jane. I would imagine that we're going to allow this warning to expire and or cancel it. 16 minutes left on the warning. Why are the storms going so slow tonight? There's no mid or upper atmosphere forcing to sort of push the storms along and make them get a move on. Sitting still for the most part all around. Davis Does Weather, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. How's it going? Do you stream tonight, Davis? Can we get tornado merch? Yes, eventually. Eventually I'll make a very bad drawing of a tornado and force Max to sell that. That's a great idea. Interested to see what this velocity scan is going to look like, because it looks like we might have a BWER, a bounded weak echo region within the storm. That's one of those super fun weather words we talked about earlier. Yeah, so rotation doesn't look that significant, but you can see this area of lower reflectivity returns within an area of higher reflectivity returns. This is what we call a bounded weak echo region, and it normally indicates a strong updraft and or mesocyclone with strong vertical motion. Andrew, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Wolves in 5 or 6? Hey, hopefully Wolves in 5. Don't make me stress. Just go Wolves in 5. Not an inflow notch. So an inflow notch is like something where we'd see, oh, it's time to pull out the drawings. In a supercell, this would be an inflow notch, but a bounded weak echo region can actually occur within a storm. So like say we had a little hole here where the reflectivity values are lower. That would be a bounded weak echo region. For it to be a bounded weak echo region, it has to be a lower reflectivity area, and it has to be like somewhat considerable. It can't just be like one yellow pixel surrounded by red pixels within an area of higher reflectivity values, and that is what we refer to as a BWER. New drawing, merch design? Yeah, throw that on a t-shirt. W drawing. Mr. Twister with a $2 super chat says, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, listen to him. He knows what's up. We are up to 15,257 subscribers, and we have 1,129 likes on this stream so far. Almost had 20,000 views, by the way. Absolutely insane. Pretty sure we're the only people live for this tornado warning right now, too. How's it going, Maple Magic? What's it looking like? What's it? Oh, wow. English. Dave says weather donates $2. Says, Riley, what's it like working for Cheese Curds, man? Dude, I have to order this man cheese curds every 20 minutes. It's insane. He lives and survives off of cheese curds. Much weaker rotation now, by the way, on that last scan. Expecting a cancellation and or an expiration sometime in the next 12 minutes on this tornado warning. Although it is still a confirmed tornado. So, we'll see if they update this warning here shortly. I think they should. Or 19,997 views now, guys. Almost gonna hit the big 20K views on this live stream today. Val, they will be a little more, or they will be stationary tomorrow, slightly less stationary because we'll have more forcing going on. But yeah, it's gonna be much the same. I do think we'll probably get a localized 5% issued tomorrow once we see what our outflow boundaries look like. We just don't exactly know where those are gonna be set up as of now. Rotation moved north of the tornado warning? No, all of our rotation, I guess the area of rotation that was warned for is this area right, wow, Picasso. This area of rotation right here, and, yeah, nothing too significant going on there now. Definitely broadened out. What does Amarillo look like tomorrow? Amarillo, you guys are under another marginal risk. This is probably going to be updated to, least a slight risk, if not an enhanced risk for hail. Just got to wait and see where we think storms are going to set up tomorrow. Another one of these mesoscale days that we've had the last 3 days where you kind of just got to wait and see what it's going to be like come the morning. Tornado-shaped helmets? How about some max kick velocities to take with you to your tornado safe spot? That's what we can do. We can make max kick velocities, and on the bottom of the shoe, it's going to have everything you need to bring into shelter with you. still very much broadening rotation on this via the Armadillo radar site. We'll see what we get here on our next radar update from the KFDX radar tower. Velocity will update in about 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, 10 seconds here. And that's pretty much chalked. Definitely not a tornado going on here now. We did just get a new flash flood warning, including Nickel Creek Station, Texas. I have no idea where Nickel Creek Station, Texas is. Let me take a look. That is over here by our also stationary storm that we talked about a little bit earlier. This flash flood warning goes until 1 a.m. Mountain Time. Remember, don't drive through floodwaters. That will never, ever, ever be a good idea. I know storm chasers do it. Don't be like them. Yeah, this rotation is what we call CHALKED. It's chalked. It's toast. It's not going to produce a tornado. But that never hurts to stay in your safe spot. Still a strong storm nonetheless. Guys, once this tornado warning is canceled and or expires in the next 8 minutes here, we'll go through and run through all of our SPC outlooks for the next 8 days where we have them. Take a look at models for tomorrow, and we'll wrap it up there. So I'll get to a bunch of these questions about future casts then. There's our tornado report, by the way, from law enforcement. Firefighter dispatch reports tornado viewing from the intersection of FM 1058 and FM 1057. This was at 10:32 p.m., and that is the reason why we have an observed tornado warning. Tiffany, thank you so much for becoming a 2% channel member. How's it going, Tiffany? W Tiffany in the chat. Yeah, Monday's going to be crazy. Tanner is right. 10 seconds till another velocity update here. There's basically, like, nothing in terms of rotation on Amarillo's radar tower for this storm. And it actually looks like we have tightening rotation here. I don't think this will make anything. There's a bounded weak echo region. But, yeah. I think basically we're going to see the same cycle where there's just like a lot of updrafts that like briefly rotate but fail to produce a tornado. So we're probably still planning on ending the live stream in 6 minutes here. We're going to go ahead and start running through our SPC outlook. So this was our outlook for today. Obviously, that is no longer our outlook. Tomorrow, we have a marginal risk in parts of Texas and New Mexico, much similar to what we saw today. However, I do think this will be upgraded to a slight risk come our morning outlook. Literally no idea where in this marginal risk there may be a slight risk tomorrow. It's all going to depend on the morning mesoscale analysis. This is what our day 3 outlook looks like, and this is where we're starting to get into our cross-country severe weather outbreak that will most likely last through Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We have a slight risk here in Nebraska. There's going to be more slight risks than this. There's going to be an enhanced risk somewhere within that. We're just waiting on seeing where exactly our trough is going to set up and where the highest corridor of potential will be. National. Gotta find these. Monday, then, that is our day 4 risk. This is the one that you guys have been hearing about over and over again, where we have a large, yellow doesn't show up on yellow. We have a large enhanced risk of severe weather. We're going to be seeing a day 3 outlook for this sometime around 3 a.m. Central Time, and we're probably going to see the addition of a moderate risk. We might not. Nonetheless, there will almost certainly be a moderate risk added to this sometime over the next 2 days, so make sure to keep an eye on that if you're in the area. Probably going to see an expansion to the slight risk as well sooner or later. I do see this stretching all the way down to the Mexican border and or the Gulf of Mexico, but we're just going to have to wait to see on that once we're closer to the system with that as well. Then Tuesday, that is the last risk that we have to talk about so far. Another large slight risk, and this is another thing where we are going to see an enhanced risk somewhere inside that. But we just don't know where yet. So it looks like a really potent setup, and it's definitely something to talk about. But we're not going to know that much until we get closer to the event and really see where that trough sets up. Pettis, you are not him, for the record. We're all entitled to our different opinions, and no one can be mad at people. This warning will expire in 3 minutes, by the way, guys, and when this warning expires, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. Good night, Laura. Thank you for tuning in. Check Monday models to wrap up the stream. See, here's my issue. I just told you guys that there's going to be severe weather. I don't really like showing models more than like 1 to 2 days out because they're just incorrect. We start looking at models, talking about, okay, this is what the environment is, this is what reflectivity looks like, this is what this is going to be, and this is what's going to happen, I'm lying through my teeth. I can't tell you guys that with utmost confidence that that's actually what's going to play out. So I prefer just to look at the outlook and say, like, hey, we have a broad tornado environment here. There is the potential we're going to see some sort of severe weather outbreak, and we have to prepare for it. And that's what I just did. So that's probably what I'm going to keep it to for now. If for whatever reason we go live tomorrow because we see another crazy mesoscale day in Texas, we'll talk about that further in our post-max live stream again. But for now, that's where I want to leave it. We still do have 2 minutes left till this tornado warning expires, so we'll stick around for that. But yeah. One minute now. Actually, not 1 minute yet. 8 seconds away until 1 minute. Even if they do issue another tornado warning for this storm, which I highly, highly, highly doubt they will, we are going to go ahead and get off because Max and I still need to talk about a few things going into this weekend so we can be prepared for our most probable severe weather outbreak on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Should call these streams the after party. Hey, we talked about that yesterday. We'll get one more radar scan here to see if they're going to continue this tornado warning. And I do believe... Okay, we gotta... Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't think this is going to produce a tornado. I really... Like, this is not, like, proper rotation. This is just, like, scud, and this is just contamination on velocity. Nonetheless, take this tornado warning seriously. It's probably not going to produce a tornado. Like, I'm saying that with a very high level of confidence that I do not think this thing's going to produce a tornado. But we talked about you basically for the last hour, even longer than the last hour. Go ahead, follow this warning. I do still have to get off. We got to cover everything that we have going on for the next few days. Yeah, if you're in this warning, go ahead, take shelter now. If for whatever reason this does become a tornado, we might come back on. Probably not, but yeah, I'll be monitoring. If you need more frequent updates, go ahead and follow my Twitter at Simco12WX. I'll be posting about this storm if it does produce a tornado. But until next time, which is either going to be tomorrow or Sunday or Monday, I don't really know. I will see you guys then.